Boxing Truth here. Some breaking news, and it felt like an eternity, but finally, Mikey Garcia, the former two-division weight world champion and former client of Top Rank, has finally been released from his contract with Top Rank. It was a long litigation process that first took place back in pretty much exactly 2 years ago, April of 2014. Garcia had a record of 34-0, 28 knockouts before he decided to file a lawsuit against Top Rank in efforts to terminate his contract with Top Rank, which still had a lot of years remaining when he filed the lawsuit. And Mikey's been out of the ring ever since. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's lost millions of dollars on the table. Could have had potential fights with Terrence Crawford, with Manny Pacquiao, Yuriorkis Gamboa. That was a fight that was offered to him for over 7 figures, I believe, before he decided to just break away from the negotiations with Gamboa, decided to file a lawsuit against Top Rank and Bob Arum. And ever since, he's just been waiting in litigation, having his lawyers handle the terms with Top Rank, and pretty much to no avail. There was some progress last year. There was hopes of perhaps getting Mikey back on to continue his career with Top Rank. Last spring, they were going to offer him a fight with Crawford, but according to Arum, Mikey Garcia is delusional with his purse demands, overvalues his market, and he, according to Bob, he wanted more money than Crawford, who is the champion and now the favorite of the network of HBO. They're pushing him to be the next star. And Garcia, he's been out of the ring for 2 years. He's finally a free agent, so he can do whatever he wants. He can sign with whatever promoter. And there were industry whispers that, the whole reason for this was because, according to Arum, some promoters and managers made a run at him to try to get him to break away from Top Rank, whispering in his ear that a certain mystery figure allegedly whispered in his ear saying that he can get him a lot more money, he can get him bigger paydays to fight lesser opponents, easier fights. And that's perhaps the cause of why Mikey decided to file a lawsuit and pretty much sit on the sidelines for 2 years and cost himself some big lucrative paydays with a lot of potential fights Arum wanted to make for him. Arum, he probably just said, fuck it. I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm pretty much spending money on lawyers for this bullshit. So he's pretty much going to focus on his clients that want to be, stay with him, that are loyal to him, and they want to. And Arum just wants to focus on the fighters that he has now, because he has a lot of clients. He has a lot of up and coming fighters, very promising young talents in his stable. And Mikey, he's already stated his piece. He's done with Top Rank. He just wants to get away from them. He wants to do his own thing. Mikey's a strange individual when it comes to boxing. He stated in the past that he doesn't really particularly like the sport. He doesn't have a great passion for it, doesn't love it. That he pretty much grew up around boxing and was good at it, and was pretty much just decided to do it because he had talent and he was pretty good at it. But he says that he just has no desire or the passion for boxing as he should, which is, like, I still question that, because ever since he decided to sit on the sidelines for 2 years, he's been in the gym. The guy doesn't step away from the gym. He doesn't take huge breaks between camps. He stays in shape. He stays sparring. He stays working out. So it baffles me that how can a guy who has said he doesn't like boxing, doesn't have the passion to fight, just does it because he's good at it. How the hell is he showing up to the gym constantly, staying in shape? I mean, this guy has more devotion than a lot of prize fighters, because there's a lot of prize fighters after they have a fight that, they don't do shit for months until they get a date from their promoter. So they're for like 4 to 5 months they might not be doing shit until they get that phone call that they have a date. But Mikey's the total opposite. He'll stay in shape, he'll stay in the gym, he'll stay sparring. But now he's gonna have to come back a little slowly. Pretty much an Andre Ward type of situation. It's been 2 years since he's fought. Yeah, he's been in the gym training and staying in shape and sparring, helping his teammates out, but that's not the same as fighting. You got to be in the ring without headgear, full throttle against other opponents. So Robbie Garcia finally was telling the truth to some of the interviewers that were interviewing him. For it seemed like every 6 months or a few months he would say something's coming, something's gonna go down. Mikey Garcia is he's gonna be free, and it was always bullshit. But finally, Robert Garcia was telling the truth, and now they got to get him back in the ring against the right opponents, as he put it, which pretty much means hand-picked opponents. So they're gonna find the right opponents to get him some work, get him some rounds, get him moving. Mikey Garcia has stated he wants his first fight to take place at the super lightweight division at 140 pounds. Who's going to promote him? Who's going to manage him? Most likely he's going to go to PBC. Most likely he'll sign with Heyman. Or maybe he'll sign with somebody else. I'm not really sure. But I'm trying to think what's the best interest. I mean, if he wants to sign with somebody, could he sign with Heyman? Does he have a lot of 40-pounders? Not really. Broner is moving up. I mean, there's Lamont, but he might be moving up as well. Not really. There's not many. It's not really much of available fights for him at 140. A couple of fighters are with Top Rank, and he's already done with them. So I don't see him fighting any top ranked fighters anytime soon. So it remains to be seen what he's gonna do, but I don't expect an elite opponent, an A-level type fighter for him for a while. Maybe it'll take 2 or 3 fights, get him back into title contention, and then he'll challenge for a title. But 2 years on the shelf, lost out on millions of dollars. I mean, was it worth it? Who's he gonna fight now? Who's he gonna sign with? Can that promoter make big things for him? As Bob Arum, the plans that he had for him. I mean, I really believe he made a mistake in just sitting on the shelf, not making money. I mean, what was he doing in between? What was he doing for a living? So, remains to be seen. But finally, seemed like an eternity, Mikey Garcia is a free agent, and expect to see him in action finally in 2016. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.